Welcome to the Fastbreak. It's just me on the show today. Damn these niggas. It's a special episode for me to talk about the Lakers in zero. I know that's right. No, I'm kidding. Yo, man, bring on my co-host. Bring on all my
Dude, I want to
co-hosts.
leave already. I'm already done. I'm already done. You started the show over wrong. I ain't trying
How?
to be here.
Liz, bro.
Bad. Oh, bad. Bad.
Ain't nobody laughing with you, bro. Ain't nobody. There's another game. The Lakers are playing 10 games this series.
It's
LeBron got
not,
to heal up a little bit. We'll be back. It's Lakers
not
in
possible.
eighth game.
Jessica, we're live, please. Jessica.
Liz, for a guy who's
Oh,
not funny, I didn't expect that. Yo, shout out, man. Liz, that was good
no,
work.
mate. Guys, that clip was ridiculous. Yo, guys, if you didn't see it, I can't even help you. But yes, sis, bro. Oh my gosh. Jessica said, nah, yo, these are my lines. Don't tell me. Anyway, welcome to the fast break. Leslie and Tata checking in. We've got Breezy in the building,
What's
Shaz
going
underneath
on?
the rose, and we've got a special guest, Monty Munate in the building.
Yeah,
How
what up?
steady, dog. You see me making jokes and things. Thanks, dog. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for joining us today. I almost introed the show like this is Yo TV, but let me not do that. Anyway, we're gonna cover some very interesting shit today. Oh damn, no. Oh, the producer. My bad. My bad on the vulgarities. Shaz, I don't like the way you look at me, and I just want you to know that. And I want you to know you can't look at me anymore like that. You're not gonna be the reigning champions at the end of the season. Um, Woo! Sorry, guys. I'm just feeling so good. Anyway,
Dog,
Jay,
stick to your lines. Yo, stick to your lines. Stick to the script, dog.
I'm going off. I'm
Stick
off
to
the
the
cuff,
script.
right?
Come on, man.
Off the
Come on, man.
cuff, off the cuff. Yo, guys. I think let's go into the reason we have our boy Monty in the building. Um, so guys, Monty, Monty had the plug. We won't investigate how. We
Are we
discussed
not
it
mates,
backstage.
though? Are we
No,
not
dog.
mates, though? What
Dog,
is that?
I don't want to get into it, Brian. Because Oaks just fly, and then you just see them on Instagram at the BAL finals, Basketball Africa League finals. Our boy, what's Luke saying? Who does support?
He
Please calm
supports
down,
the team that lost to Memphis.
Brian. Brian, you can't sip on. Okay, look, we're getting into. So Monty attended the Basketball Africa League final. As you know, the Basketball Africa League happened. Um, it was, I mean, this was big time. Everyone was excited. It was something that I think we never thought we'd ever see. I felt like it was hella short though. Obviously it was a tournament setup, right? So a very short amount of time. But we saw who won? Zamalek run, right? Firstly, that name is Bears. Do they know what that means in Saudi?
You guys
It's
aren't
Bears.
global. The problem is that y'all aren't global. You guys aren't
But it's
global.
Bears. It's
You
Bears
guys aren't
this side.
global. No, but you guys gotta relax also.
So yeah, Zamalek won. But Monty, you were there firsthand. You traveled to Rwanda. You managed to get, I mean, go see the final. You got the backstage passes. There's nobody else with more like plug like Monty. But Monty, I just want to hear from you. Genuinely curious, bro. Full experience. What was it like? What stood out? What was like? This is Bears. What was
Did you
like
meet J. Cole,
exciting?
bro? Did you step up J. Cole or whatever?
Right? Please don't bring up J Cole because Chaz is gonna get hacked.
Please can you mute Brian in the back there? Just mute Brian.
But Monty, genuine, like whatever from your
Yeah,
experience, what stood out? What do you think was what was interesting?
yeah. So, hi. So yeah, basically, I just wanted to come and I know everyone here is our basketball fans, and everyone here has played basketball, and kind of knows what's going on with basketball in South Africa and Africa. So yeah, so I went down. I went down for the semifinals in Rwanda and finals. So those finals, semifinals on the Saturday, finals on the Sunday, and I just wanted to see, how this league is run, and does it have a future? So it was actually, surprisingly enough, it was amazing, and obviously because the NBA is involved in this, the NBA and FIBA, it's a very well run league. Everything was professional. They took proper precautions by COVID. I mean, I was talking to the guys saying, no drinking is allowed, no beverages, no food, no nothing. The
I don't
teams,
even get festive.
You don't eat. Anybody
Can't
eat?
even
no,
bow.
nothing.
So not even a baby tequila, nothing.
There's nothing. It's so firstly, Rwanda is already a strict place. So for them to be able to run the league there, they had to obviously follow all the proper procedures, and because it can easily become a super spreader event where Rwanda's COVID cases are super low. They had to really do it properly. So yeah, man, the teams themselves had to stay in a bubble, just like the playoffs.
Yeah.
In the NBA playoffs last year, they were there for like about a month in a bubble. If we wanted to go to the bubble, we had to have gotten there same time as them or just after them, isolate for 14 days, and then go to the bubble. So we obviously did not do that. But so there was.
So sorry,
No,
wait.
Monty,
Sorry, Monty.
I'm
Yeah,
going,
I have
bro.
so many questions. So
What do you mean?
Yeah.
okay, Brian, you go. Yeah, what do you mean?
So
Yeah,
Les, dog,
Brian,
you
you go.
had your airtime.
My bad, my bad.
Monty, isn't the bubble that it's a hotel and the arena in the same area, or was it that they stayed in a place and that was considered the bubble, and then the arena was separate? Because obviously you got backstage access and you were all over wherever you wanted to go in the arena. But I would have thought that the bubble was that the entire event is in a secure location.
Yeah.
So there was the teams, media, a documentary was being shot. So like the camera crews, the NBA staff, they all stayed in a bubble, which was a hotel.
Okay.
And they obviously all had their own procedures. They were getting tested every day. They can't go out. No one can visit. We can't go in or out of there. And they get transferred to the stadium. And then, what usually would be considered as courtside or whatever, there was a barrier where those people are the bubble people. So the players, the staff, the media, the coaches, they are in the bubble. Nobody can interact with them. They can't come out to us as the fans or, other people. So they were in their own little bubble, play the games, do the interviews there, whatever, leave, go to the hotel room, stay there, come back. So yeah, that's how they worked it out.
So the court in that restricted area was essentially a transfer of the bubble. So everyone that was in the bubble at the hotel stays in that area, nowhere else, whereas everybody else stays outside that area.
Right. So they were very strict though. When we arrived, had to do so you first test obviously before you leave SA. You get to Rwanda, they make you test again. They don't care about your South African test at the airport. Go to the hotel. Isolate there until your test results come out, and then if you want to go watch a game, you have to test. So there's a rapid test in the morning. So every day getting tested, so that we can go to the games. And yeah, man, the level of basketball was amazing. Obviously, there are levels because all the Northern African teams, Egypt.
Say your shit, Monty. Talk your talk. Don't worry. We're not political. We're not talk your talk. We about to ask you these questions.
He holds it back. He holds it back. What Monty want to say is, Oaks ain't balling in some areas. Some niggas are balling.
Because we
Some
definitely
dudes can ball, other dudes ain't balling so much.
So I went to the qualifiers, right? The SA qualifiers.
Oh damn!
I actually paid to go watch SA try and qualify here. So we lost to a Mozambican team.
SA clubs.
Yeah, I don't know. I forgot the name of. I think it was the Magic, or there was a combined people put together.
Yeah.
To make this
Monty,
team.
bro, you've been knowing Zamalek like the back of your hand, but you can't even remember your backdoor clubs, man. Come on, man.
It's
Right,
probably like
you can hear the man.
probably-
They like brought them together.
It's exactly. It wasn't even a real team. It was
20 Sons. I remember. It was 20 Sons.
and others. So
And others. I remember.
exactly.
Look at Mabuda. Look at Mabuda, bro. We're gonna cut you in. Mabuda
So
needs
we
to get
lost to a
restricted.
Mozambican team, and I think a Zimbabwean team. We didn't make it.
Yeah.
So when I got there, I was like, okay, I see why we did not make it. The level is definitely much higher.
Monty, Monty, you have to paint a picture. I don't understand what you're saying. Paint the picture. Paint the picture.
So that's trying to put my man on the spot.
It's quite
Josie Nuggets, shout out to me. We know this.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting story because the teams who usually do well in Africa, like Nigeria, Angola, did not do so well. Nigeria, there was an interesting story with the Nigerian team. The coach actually sold his car so that the team could go to the qualifiers because the Nigerian government wouldn't pay for it. They did make it to the qualifier, through to the tournament. But it didn't do well. I think they got knocked out very early. The Rwandan team that was put together, was supposed to be an amazing team, got blown out in the semis, with J. Cole and everything. But J. Cole left early. They were the Rwandan Patriots.
J. Cole left late, according to Shaz, big homie. J. Cole was there for
apparently he shouldn't have showed up.
J. Cole there. I didn't even know J. Cole was there. Didn't that guy just put 5 assists, 5 points, 1 rebound in 5 games? I'm just asking.
There was some drama surrounding that because even some of the players in the tournament were not happy about him being there.
Yeah.
This is some insight I got from some of the production team that's shooting the documentary. I think some of
what did I say?
Was the production team Netflix?
No, so it's a production team from South Africa. They put the money up to shoot this thing, and then they're going to pitch it to someone like Netflix. Well, Netflix is the first goal, but if not, then whoever takes it, whoever buys it. But they put up their own money, their own budget. They were like, "Yo, we're just gonna go there, shoot this thing." But they were part of the bubble. They were part of the official staff. So on my way back,
to be clear, South Africa had a team there. It just wasn't basketball.
Look, we're good at everything else. The travel agencies are all South African. The staff, tons of them are South Africans.
Travel agents, yo.
Once we're not here for that, this is a basketball show. Come on, man.
Unfortunately, our sports didn't make it. But so there was a bit of drama with J. Cole, but he obviously left early, supposedly family drama, and people were upset at that even, like, yo, so you came, some of us weren't really happy, and then you even left early. You took a spot for someone.
We were mad he came, then when he left, we're like, nah, why you leaving? Come back.
Monty, a question, because did you get to watch the final? Or
yes.
Was that? How was that? Because it looked like the production for that from top to bottom was amazing, and then the award ceremony afterwards. Can you maybe drop us some young gems on how that was?
Yeah, so it was an Egyptian team and a Tunisian team, which is slightly unfortunate because there's issues. Those people don't really consider themselves African, but. So it's quite sad.
Hold up. Time out.
No,
we're not here. We're not here for that.
I'm trying to move on from it.
Okay. Let the man continue.
I just had to throw it in, but I'm moving on from it.
All right.
So the final was amazing. Production was amazing. Like I said, it's really a good tournament. I think it's going to grow the game. The MVP was William Hodge. I think it's Walter Hodge. A point guard from Zamalek.
Guy.
Yeah, he's quite old. Though. He's 34 or something. But we'll get there. But Shaz, to answer your question, was amazing. They obviously revealed the trophy. It was named after Hakeem.
Yeah.
Man. I nothing less to say. It was a great tournament. Hopefully South Africa can get a team in there. Oh, another thing. It's going to be held in Rwanda for another 3 years.
Okay.
Bubble format, or is it depending on COVID, I can imagine?
Depending on COVID. Because originally it was supposed to be traveling, like, you go to whatever team you're playing, whatever country that is. And obviously COVID happened, and Rwanda was really the best place to host it. And so they're going to do that until the other countries kind of like sort themselves out, build arenas. And then the future plans are for the BAL to have their own teams. So it's not dependent on however your country's clubs are run.
Yeah.
So
It's a
they
federation, so it'll be their own
It'll be a
federation, and you create.
federation, internal managed. You got your owners or
100%,
whatever the case may be.
like the
That's
But I
NBA.
mean, Rwanda was always they are the best prepared, right? I mean, if you look across Africa, when we have to host the NBA Africa game here in South Africa, we host at Ellis Park. I mean, you can't run a
My man, we get a power outage during a 3-point shot, bro. We got it. We the lost ones.
right.
I think we did one game at Mainland, the Mainland Arena.
Oh
What's it
yeah,
called?
the Mainland Arena.
It's called Sun
Um,
Arena, guys. You guys respect
Sun
your
Arena.
hood. Respect your hood, yo.
Yo,
Shaz just be mad the whole day. Shaz, bro, are you okay?
no,
Has
bro, he's
something
got
happened?
issues. He's got
Mike,
issues
yeah?
with the municipal. Koki, you fading there, dog. What do you say?
Okay, yes. Hi, how are you?
I'm
Goodbye.
good. Do you know when the next BAL is?
Yeah,
Have
next
you
year.
given an indication?
Yeah, next year.
Monty.
Monty, that's not a real answer, bro.
Monty,
Like
God.
next year, when? Like
Next season,
March.
bro. What you mean?
Guys, they didn't give me the date. I don't actually physically work there. They didn't say, yo, Monty, 23rd of November, like, be back. No, they'll
Surely
hit
a
me up
month.
next year.
Yes, yes. Oh, so we thought we had Woj
Wow. Okay, I'll find out for you and I'll hit you up. How about that?
What a
Hey,
waste.
you know. What do you? No, but
So everything else I've said is useless. 'Cause I don't have the date.
no, yeah, that's no, guys, that's biz. No, but yes, yes. I won't lie. Like bottom of my heart, since the day I started playing basketball, never thought we'd really have a league in Africa sponsored by like the NBA. I never thought. So it's crazy. But production wise, I think again, I said before when we spoke about on the show, there's so much to learn from like that production element of things, like make it a show. So obviously, like, did they? Because I think when I watched a few games, they play the music and stuff. Is that all live in the arena?
Mm.
It's all live in the arena,
Yeah,
right?
so.
Yeah, that is dope.
Quick-
It's just and they got the jumbotron.
Yeah.
Quick question, Monty, for you, and it might be a tough one. Also, with the MVP being like 34, is the plan to find the top talent and try take it to a college or through to Europe? Because you said people was involved to the NBA. Like, is the purpose to cultivate this talent for this league itself? I don't know if like the MVP is he retained to the contract for another year or two. Will he be back at the same team? Because those are questions we initially had at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, so that is so. Here's the thing, which also kind of makes me happy, is that there will be people scouting NBA. The owner of the Bucks came down. He had a little viewing party that we attended. I actually met him, had a little shot. Masai.
Word?
Who was in the
word?
bubble? The owner was not in the
Yeah,
bubble.
but it's just like it was just hey, this is the
Right,
owner.
that's a rogue one.
It wasn't like a real official greeting. It was just like, hey, yo, this is And then also Masai Ujiri was there from the Raptors. So yeah, they are obviously trying to look for talent, and obviously the nice thing is that when the league gets bigger and more talent and the level goes up, you won't have to go to college in the States or whatever. They can scout you straight from Africa, like they've been doing in Europe for years. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to try find scholarships and go to the States, and it can just be like, yo, Les, you're a baller, come through.
Yeah, what I would imagine as well, though, right, is that they'd leave it at the player's discretion, right? Because if you're young enough, good enough, look at the EuroLeague. Though these guys who at 18, 19, as soon as they cap it there, they move on to the NBA. So I know the NBA isn't so much sponsoring the EuroLeague, but I would imagine they wouldn't, restrict a player who's able enough and keep him out of the NBA, which is a much bigger opportunity just by virtue of the league itself. Just because he's trying to uplift the African league, I think they'll always try and take the talent that is good enough to play in a bigger, better league, up until we are one of those bigger, better leagues, or up until we can afford to sort of create the lives that the NBA can create for even a 12th man on a roster. So I can imagine that they'd want to encourage, picking up players from this league. But like Shaz said, the MVP was 34 years old, so there's that.
So, yeah, exactly. But the end, like the long-term goal, is to make it a sustainable league where people can stay here and you don't have to go to Europe or America. But obviously, in the meantime, scouting will happen and people will go to the States.
So the interesting.
Oh,
Yeah,
go ahead, Les.
that's kind of sorry. Just the interesting thing though in South African basketball, even I mean in African basketball, and I mean I think we know it in our country. Like some of the best players are so old. Like I don't see the pipeline, right? I don't. I mean, and maybe I can only speak about the South African context, right? I know some of the best basketball players in this country. We've played against them, played with them, coached by them, whatever the case may be. But I don't look down the road. I don't say that there's like a 23-year-old who's like challenging those guys. It's interesting though. Like the MVP was 34. I just wonder across the league and across Africa if the age thing is really.
Real quick on that point, though, I actually wanted to ask Monty. I just don't know how. So thanks for leading me in the right direction, Liz. Or even you guys, maybe you guys have a view on this. Do you guys think that, because we all know some of the best basketball players in the country, we've either played with them or we've watched them from a distance. Do you think that if the country was able to actually come together and put the best 12 on one team and get everybody to back them, that we could compete in that league? Just looking at the level of talent, looking at the ability.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think we
Yeah.
could play there. I really believe that we could
all
give
comes
those
up.
dudes a proper run. Yeah.
It comes to
So
dough.
who are we
Comes to
excluding? Is the age thing
Comes
not
to-
an issue?
Dough.
Age
It all
thing
comes.
gotta be an issue,
Oh, yeah.
dog. You still need the older dudes. Go ahead, Monty.
Yeah,
So-
no.
So yeah. I look, I spoke to the head of the PAL, and he was saying Amadou.
Amadou.
Yeah. And he's saying, obviously,
Once you connected, man, you got the blur.
and obviously he was saying, look, the interest is here in South Africa. It's not realistic that a South African team is not in there. And he was saying that, look, he's spoken to the people in South Africa with resources and saying, look, it's up to you guys to make this. The interest is there to make the local leagues at least, up the standard of them and pump money into it. I mean, I won't mention names of who he spoke to, but just people with money, and to say, look, there's interest, do something about this. There is talent. And if obviously, like Shaz said, if there's money in it, people will actually be dedicated and stay and pursue it as a viable option instead of it's on the side, do it, it's a little 2-month season. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the leagues in Egypt and stuff are proper leagues and the people play. Like I was asking, are these guys, do some of them play in Europe? They were like, no. This is all the guys from the local league in Egypt and Tunisia and stuff.
And those guys in that local league, it's sort of a career, right? Where it can pay them to just focus on that, or do they also do something on the
obviously
side?
it's not like soccer, but they're fine.
Yeah.
That's
No,
interesting.
but Breezy, on your question, I do think we could compete if we took the best 12 in this country and we made it a viable option. There, no other distractions or concerns.
Bro, it's so annoying that we really try to beat each other, and it's frustrating. But I can imagine. Look, there's reasons why teams want to go their own route. Everybody has their reasons for how they believe they can succeed. I don't want to take that away from them. I'm just looking at all. Yeah, go ahead, Chaz.
Sorry to cut you, Breeze. What I've heard on the Street of Fires, there are two clubs that have got some backing from SA. So watch out. One is from Cape Town, one is from Joburg. One is from Cape Town, one is from Joburg. That's all I can say.
We know the teams. I've seen, and you see, so I think also on Brian's question, it shouldn't actually be the best 12, 15 guys, right? You actually need to have about an elite 30 guys in the country that are constantly playing against each other, competing at multiple levels, tournament level,
regularly, bro.
Yeah, regularly, right? Who they don't get it, but technically it's their job to raise each other's level, right? So it needs to be about 30 guys, and then from that you would basically eventually try get a 12 or whatever. But I think Brian's thinking is so right in the sense that we need to get to the point where it's like, okay, but guys, there's an opportunity that we need a team that needs to rep us in this regard. We got to make this happen, and let's pick the best 15, 12 guys. Let's go. We can't be at home.
Monty, quick question, and not to with regards to a female league, with regards to the BAL, is there conversations around that? Did you hear any discussions on that?
I actually didn't, I didn't. I must be honest. I did not hear any murmurs or anything like that. Oh, actually, I did. I'm lying. Sorry, it was a bit of a party night, but So I was speaking
That's the
to
killer went in, huh? That's the killer went
I
in.
was, yeah, I was speaking to Joakim Noah, and he actually mentioned it.
Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
Monty just keeps
Go
dropping
on.
Okay,
casual.
hey, Monty,
Yo, all right, Monty,
Monty,
goddamn, no. All right, bet.
Monty, Monty
I
got them
bet.
on the WhatsApp. Monty knows
I thought
everything
he was
about
gonna
them.
say. I thought he was just gonna call him, Joaquim or JQ. I thought it was gonna be casual.
No, it was just it was mentioned in passing because we obviously was talking, and then talking about what about ownership? Is he thinking of trying to maybe buy a team or whatever? And so he just kind of mentioned the future plans of the league and stuff like that. But it was kind of just in
You didn't get a
passing.
chance to ask him why he hates LeBron so much. That never came up.
Brian, you gotta relax.
Because
Brian,
Brian,
you gotta chill out.
do you remember what LeBron did to him in the 2013 Eastern Conference semifinals? Please, man.
They've been at war. But
Yeah,
I
what,
cool, bro. That's
what,
pretty interesting, Monty. Appreciate that, bro.
what?
Monty,
No
thank you so
problem.
much for that insight, bro. That was amazing, man.
Why
No
y'all thanking
problem.
him like Monty leaving? Yo, we finna talk about the.
I want to know if I can get a plug next time you get a plug, dog. I ain't even trying to. I don't want to meet nobody. Can I come with you? I pay my way. I take care of myself, But now it's pretty
Yeah,
interesting,
let's
bro. I
go.
think
Let's go.
Everybody,
I'm
let's
pretty
go.
excited. Huh?
So
Um,
the Tunisian teams had mad support. Like they had fans there. I was stuck in the middle of them, like in the final, and those guys were going off. They had flags. Those guys were forcing me to cheer for them. Like bro, the guy was like pushing me, like defense.
he just
Yo,
like, I'm
fam,
with y'all. I'm with y'all, then. I'm with y'all, then.
yeah. But so
Yeah,
yeah, we definitely once we get a team, obviously more people will be interested in going and
yeah,
support.
yeah. No,
Dope.
definitely. There's a trip. I've met some Tunisian people, once somewhere. That just anyway. But anyway, thanks a lot, Monty. Really appreciate that insight. Guys, let's jump into a little bit of NBA action. Do y'all remember NBA action? That was a dope magazine show. Do they still run that?
Mhm.
Anyway, let's jump into some NBA action. Look, guys, we've got a Brooklyn Nets fan here, so let's
Are we talking
just
about the
forward.
awards? When we meant to be
We
talking about
we
the
are,
awards?
but we are, mate. But the thing is,
We have
we
to
also
talk
might
about
get into. Let's talk about the NBA awards. I think we see things rolling out. I didn't think things would roll out this fast. But we saw the Defensive Player of the Year come out, Rudy Gobert. We've seen the MVP come out at Nikola Jokic. We've seen the Coach of the Year come out at what's his name, Thibodeau, Tom Thibodeau
Let's
from
talk about it. Let's talk about
the
it.
New York Knicks.
Let's talk about it.
I want to
Let's
hear
talk
from
about it.
Yeah, I just want to hear from everybody. Like, what are some of the big shockers? The one I think I want to put this one to bed. I don't know if anyone has any disputes, but bottom of my heart, Nikola Jokic, take a bow. It's not looking good for you right now, Nikola. Yo, not looking good for you right now. But take a bow. He deserved it. Probably the least controversial MVP we've had in a while, where like everyone's just like, yeah, okay, sure. I mean, we don't have questions. We don't really have too many questions. But Shaz, tell me, out of the awards, what's shocked you? What's touched you? What has been, you know?
First things first, Breezy. I'm so happy they humbled you and they told you Ben Simmons ain't winning no damn Defensive Player of the Year. We kind of told you. We told you.
Brian,
But ain't it?
did you back
He ba-
Benjamin?
These guys back
I
Ben
really
Simmons.
did not. I said Ben Simmons getting lit up by point guards. Shaz just be it's out of
All right,
context.
my bad.
Oh
It's
no, it
Teddy.
was Shine.
It
Shine's
was
the
Shine
one
and
who
Lissetti.
bagged.
My
Shine
bad,
and
my
Lissetti.
bad. I'm framing
Oh,
you,
look,
my
I was
bad.
so scared. Shaz, when you said that I've been talking so much smack over the past couple months, I believed I could have said it. I just went with it. I just went, I said it.
For me, the most shocking one. I'm very honest. I was shocked that Monty Williams didn't win it because
Yeah.
he had won all the other polls, and for him not to win it, I think that's a huge discredit. His team is still in the playoffs. They might go to the finals. That is terrible. That's just terrible. I don't even know where to start.
I think it's a we all know NBA loves a good story. I think it's a narrative thing. Knicks,
Yeah.
Knicks haven't been around for years.
I don't like that. I don't like
No,
that.
that's terrible.
No one likes it,
Bro.
but
It's
Yo, Coach
ridiculous.
of the Year. Guys, Coach of the Year
So
is a
many weird
prestigious
things.
award.
Derrick Rose got as many first place MVP votes as LeBron James and Joel Embiid. That's the first thing. He don't even start, but whatever. Tom Thibodeau, what? These guys, first things first, right? You can't give it until after the season has ended, a month into the playoffs, and then give these awards. I already have a problem with that. But if you decide to do that, you can't discount how Monty, man, you're on the show today. Monty literally beat the favorites from the Western Conference very convincingly. They didn't get the games given to them. They won the game. That should have been a stamp on that. But they were second in the Western Conference, the tougher conference, over some pretty buck teams. I think it's a travesty that Tom Thibodeau got it. I think it's sentiment.
Yeah.
I think it's people like Shaz and them hyping up the basketball in New York. But they got lit up by Trae Young. I don't understand
I'm with you. I'm with you.
No,
I'm
no,
with
guys,
you.
guys. No, but
I'm with
guys,
you on this one.
no, but guys, in the moment, I'm not taking anything away from New York. It was exciting. We loved it in the NBA, but it was not Coach of the Year worthy. That's my main job. And you know what I'm gonna say?
What was their seeding in the Eastern Conference? Weren't they like 7th or 8th, or what is it?
They were
6th.
fourth.
Bloody Tom, bro. Look at him. Yes. And look,
Yeah,
Tom
but he got a
Thibodeau's
goal.
no, bro. He's actually a good coach. But what I'm also saying is, I'm throwing the race card in there. Yeah, me and Stephen
Thank
A
you.
are doing it. We
Wow.
tied,
Just
dog.
wanted you to
What
say
the
it.
hell, bro?
Wanted you to
This
say
is
it, Liz.
definitely racially charged, bro. And like, you can't just he brought playoff basketball back to Madison Square Garden. That's it.
That's
Come
the
on,
story.
Monty's in the second round. That can't be the story. But you're right. It was narrative based.
Yeah.
I don't know. Cookie, your Steve Nash nigga one never gonna win no damn Coach of the Year
Who
award.
says Steve Nash?
No, Brian, I'm
No.
just putting it out there. You know why he couldn't win that? Because he ain't
Kyrie
even
said
calling
there's
the
4
plays.
coaches. And Kyrie said there's four coaches on the team. Steve ain't got a coach. KD and myself coach. He's got half a job. He working half days a day.
Yeah, look, his players don't see him, so
I don't even see him calling the subs.
Every episode just disrespecting Steve Nash. Can you imagine?
What does we do? Dap him.
Yo, so real quick, does this make Rudy a Hall of Famer?
Frank Vogel is not here.
You? Oh, wow.
Oh, wait a minute, though.
Yeah, Cookie.
Yo. Can everybody mute their mic? Cookie and I have a conversation. Cookie, what?
No, I'm just saying.
Woo! Like
Damn.
the great Ric Flair said.
Cookie, we will take this offline, okay? You and I will take this offline. So does this make your boy Rudy a Hall of Famer? He got 3 of those, 3 of them defensive items.
Hell yeah.
And I think
Hell yeah.
one of
Hell yeah.
5 players.
Hell yeah. Without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow. It's not even a conversation.
No,
It's
I don't
without
know.
a shadow.
Okay.
He's with this guy. He's with this guy.
No, he's
He's
not.
with
Because
this
that guy has 4.
Yeah, he about to get it
He
next
has
year.
one
Run
less
it
than
back.
that.
Rudy back.
He's there.
Rudy Gobert running
Okay.
it back.
Okay, so guys, if Rudy gets Hall of Fame because he has 3 defensive player of the years, Dwight Howard's getting Hall of Fame, right?
100%.
Dwight Howard
He is.
been Hall of Famer, boy. That
he
guy
is
coming.
getting Hall of Fame,
Oh,
definitely.
he's been Hall of Famer. That boy, that's a bona fide. It's coming.
Okay, fair enough. Now, but look, Rudy deserved it. I think this season. I just think he's when you watch him play, you can literally see what he does for a defense. He's one hell of a defender. But we'll never forget when Rudy touched all the mics and then got COVID and then forced the NBA to know about it. He can't just let you go, dog.
He activated
Come on,
the bubble.
Liz.
Rudy Gobert activated the bubble.
He activated the bubble, Oaks. He literally, he's like, you Oaks are kidding. Please, banter.
Not a real thing.
Ah.
Take COVID, Boston. You got it there. It's on you there. Now, look, I think you got to be a Hall of Famer, man. If you look at the Hall of Famers above him in that position, yeah, he's a multi-year winner. I don't even know when he won it. By the way, ain't nobody want to take this shot out in Clipper Town. Anyway, I think he's big time. I think, his height is a bit of an advantage, but you can't take that away from him. You can't say if he was shorter, he would struggle. He's not shorter. He's not struggling. So I really do think that he deserves a nod for that Hall of Fame category. I think even outside of what else he ever does for his career, he'll never be a top or an all-time block man, an all-time points man, an all-time defensive contributor. But he's top 5 in terms of the most defensive player awards ever won. And I feel like he's been in the past 5 years, right? They've all been very, very. I didn't even know he had 3 until I thought it was going to be his first one. So I'm quite shocked that he has 3 altogether. But I think you got to get that nod, man. Or Defensive Player of the Year Hall of Fame, something. They got to create a little bit of some.
Do you guys think there was any disappointments in any of the awards? Obviously, besides the Coach of the Year award, the MVP for me, just was it clarified towards the end of the season, but even though I can't not see what's happening now, I think Joel Embiid had an amazing regular season.
When are we doing rookie
It's
of
really
the
got
year?
one first place vote. It's so strange you got one first place. One.
Rookie of the year?
Yo, I don't
Has
know.
that been announced?
No, it
No,
hasn't.
They haven't.
How do they announce MVP before rookie of the year? That's
I
why.
don't know.
That's
bro.
how both rookies have been out. They can't even contribute anymore. They can't even make themselves better. They should have announced that day one after the season ended. It's weird.
Yeah.
I really disagree with how they take so long to announce these awards. It's the most annoying thing. There's too much bias that comes from a playoff performance.
Can someone please speak to the city? I don't know.
How do you mute a guest? How do you mute someone that
How do you-
tweets?
How can you tell me Joel Embiid is the most improved player? Yes. What kind? What are you saying to me?
Yeah,
Your
I think.
heart.
Do you know what's the crazy part? And I might call it. I think they might do what they did with Grant Hill and Jason Kidd. I think they might share it,
Sure.
That's
and it's gonna suck. But I think that's what's gonna happen.
Hey man, Lamelo
Wait, who
Ball,
do you guys
ball,
think
ball.
should win it?
Lamelo
We
Ball.
don't-
I
LaMelo
made
Ball.
a case for Anthony Edwards a couple weeks back, but Lamelo Ball's influence on the franchise was actually they had a contention for the playoff until he got injured. Whereas Anthony Edwards and them, they were down all season. He was playing well, but his team was at the bottom of
Yeah.
the West the entire season. So looking at that, I think Lamelo Ball, and also Lamelo Ball's exciting, bro. He's really an influential player. And I think also Anthony Edwards had D'Angelo Russell towards the end of the season. He had Karl Anthony Towns all season. So it's
whoa.
I'll give it to Lamelo Ball, man.
Fair
I'll
enough,
give it to the
yeah.
Lamelo Ball, bro.
Hi,
That's what I
Boogie.
think.
Fair enough. Hey.
Hey,
Hi.
Bay Area. Hello, Bay Area.
Mpumi, do you think there were any snubs via the NBA awards that have been announced besides the Coach of the Year? I mean, besides that.
Boom gonna say Steve Kerr. Okay, I'm wrong. I just had to get
No,
that.
listen, I'm a diehard Warriors fan, so of course I always think Steph should have been MVP. But I do think Jokic did deserve the MVP.
Hey,
Stop it, Goki. Don't make faces.
Stop.
Look
Look at all the
Stop.
Lakers fans.
Stop.
Stay on the topic, okay? Don't be,
Steve,
don't
don't make faces.
Can
be,
all
you
the
get
Lakers-
here late and then you come out here with outlandish statements. Stick to script.
Listen, I've been saying all season Steph should be in that conversation, so of course I think it should have been
I
him.
agree with you. I agree.
But no, actually, I think the NBA awards were, I mean, according to the season they're having, they were good.
You like Tom
Tom Thibodeau?
for coach?
I
coach of the year?
mean, listen, the turnaround was crazy, right?
See?
You think about the turnaround that's happened, and you have to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
Like, yes, they didn't do it in the postseason, but it's a regular season award, and they were great in the regular season, and that turnaround was huge.
Phoenix was number 2, guys. Am I missing that?
In the tougher
Like,
country.
Okay, but if what Mpumi's saying, let's say we had to measure the distance of progress between where the Knicks were to where they are, and you're taking that as a value, I can hear you, but still no.
no, thank you.
How can you say I can hear you and then say but still?
No,
He was lying. He was lying.
No,
What
Monty,
is
no.
that?
What? No. What I'm saying is I have the ability to, because it's similar to most improved, right? Because my question is this, right? So, do you think Steve Nash would have won Coach of the Year if the Brooklyn Nets were number 1 in the East? No, he wouldn't have. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is Coach of the Year has this it has this, they use this most improved player kind of metric where they're like, where were you and where are you today? And then now we're considering this a Coach of the Year as opposed
okay,
to
but
Coach
it's
of
also
Power.
what talent do you have, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if the
You
Brooklyn
can't
Nets
use
had
the
been
Nets
number
to
1,
compare
they're still going to go, okay, these guys have KD, James Harden, Kyrie, right? So it's what are you doing with the amount of talent you have and how big is the jump that you've made?
Guess there's
That's fair.
Do-
Phoenix
do
did
you
have
know-
Booker, they did have Chris Paul, they did have D8, and those are all.
But
D8
Brian,
is
there's no
always
way
a
that
number.
No.
just adding Chris Paul delivered
No.
this.
Okay, but
No.
who was the best player on the Knicks? Who was their best player?
Julius Randle.
Okay,
Derrick
thank you.
Rose.
And he was an all-star. No, he was
Yeah,
bona
Brian,
fide.
bro,
Yeah,
He was
an
bona
all-star.
fide.
but Julius is
He is an
okay, fine.
all-star by himself, and he's not some long-standing all-star. He's a first-time all-star by
Devin
himself.
Booker couldn't even
leading
get
the
a
New York-
sniff. Devin Booker couldn't even get a sniff.
He
That's
was
how
in
tough the
Out
West
in the
is.
Western Conference, there are real ballers out in the West, homie. Devin Booker had no chance. At the 2?
Who the
It's
hell?
happening
Don't
with
bring in
Kawhi,
Devin
Paul
Booker
George,
out here
Luka,
like he's
James
some
Harden.
kind of
Hey,
special.
not even James Harden. The West is too rough. He ain't got no space. Ain't got no
And
space.
I don't want all these dabs via Devin Booker just because of what's happening right now. We gonna see what we gonna see. I'll just be carrying
By the
dabs.
way, you guys know Devin Booker has the last Laker 23 jersey.
Bro. And he don't
So,
even need to sell it.
LeBron.
That guy, he's gonna keep it forever. It's crazy. He's the luckiest man by mistake.
yeah, if he ever doesn't win a ring and goes broke, he can sell it.
Do you guys have him for a ring
man?
this year, by the way? Do you all have Devin Booker and him for a ring this season?
Oh, Brian, thanks for
wait, hold
introducing
on.
the next
Wait.
topic.
How
The
are they gonna
second
get
round
past the
matchup.
Nets, dude?
Let's talk about the second round matchups. Firstly, the first round, we won't get into it. RIP.
Oh, wow.
Yo,
Oh,
yo,
you know.
Yo, Les, we're not here
yo,
for that. Just check
yo,
yourself a
Going
little
straight
bit,
into the
Joe.
second round.
Yo.
Straight into the second round. Straight into the second round,
Yo.
guys. So look, the Suns versus Denver. The Suns' first two games, I must say, now it feels so. In the first round, it looked like it was a lot of D book, a lot of individual play. The Suns,
CP3.
but now no, but not just that, bro.
Hey, Kevin.
I love crossover. Dog, it looks like the Suns are just rolling on all ends. Like they got like 4 or 5 guys in double digits. They're sharing the ball. They're scoring like 123 points. Jokic, unfortunately, I think we're seeing, you do need that sidekick. You do. Seth, man, I love you, dog. You do need that sidekick. But what do you guys think is going to happen? You guys think that's going to be a straight sweep?
First of all, like I called it, Chris Paul. That's all I want to say.
But Chris
guys,
Paul had the shoulder,
Chris-
guys, in the first.
No. Chris Paul,
Chris Paul?
Point
Yeah.
guard.
point guard. Like I said, they will go far because of his leadership.
One
17
turnover
Why
in 2
Skokie? Why
games.
Skokie? Why are you disagreeing?
I definitely call Chris Paul.
One turnover in 2 games.
17,
Come on.
17
Does Skokie not
points,
buy Chris Paul?
15
No,
assists
I
the
like
last
it. I
game.
don't trust it. I love Chris Paul.
I
trust him.
don't buy Chris Paul.
Oh,
Hey,
I don't buy him. I can't afford him. He's not
please,
worth
can I
the
hear
price.
your reasoning?
I would
I need to
rather
also hear it.
not buy. Say again?
It's
Please,
because
can I hear your
I
reasoning?
like Chris Paul. That's why Brian doesn't like Chris Paul. That's why.
I mean, that's part of the reason. A big part of it. Nah, dog. He stays getting eliminated. He stays getting hurt. They will make a deep playoff run, get to the conference finals. Then something will happen to Chris Paul. He's actually never done anything that deserves this much love. That Jake,
he's
that
too
other
zip
player.
up.
But what
He's
is he
what?
doing right now, Brian? Okay,
He's too
historically,
zip up.
maybe. But what
Hey,
is the
Seth,
dude
my
doing
guy.
right now?
I so
Seth-
brilliant, my
That
boy.
hurts me.
You
Seth is
Give
my
us
boy.
analysis.
No, brother. Chris Paul
Give us
came to
analysis.
the Phoenix Suns and they progressed, right? They moved up quite well. They did quite well. But Chris Paul's got a lot of Steve Nash back-to-back MVP vibes where he's important to his team. But he don't put, and he also got more votes than Joel in the MVP conversation. Anyway, he doesn't light up the points. He doesn't have a back-to-back game where he's assisting like crazy. Next game, I bet Chris Paul has less than 6 assists and 2 turnovers.
Based
All
off
of
what?
this-
Based off what? Based
No,
off
When
what?
I said
Based
Golden
on-
State was
Brian.
listen, Shaz.
So what
listen
Brian's
to me.
calling
When
out is
I said
inconsistent.
Golden State would lose to Memphis, it was based on nothing. It happened. It ain't, I'm just telling you what I think. Chris Paul always has a great 2 games. Everybody loses their mind. Then he slows down. Then everybody just quietens down a little.
So now
Then,
you're
then,
already.
you know, when
Well,
God-
Brian, he's
Oh,
old.
here we go. Oh, here we go.
Well, Brian, he's old. Or is that not
Here's
an
another thing
excuse?
that hacks me.
Or is
Oh,
that not an excuse?
Okay, Brian.
That's only an
Yo,
excuse for LeBron.
Excuse me. Brian, is that
Go ahead,
not an
Monty. Go ahead,
excuse?
Monty.
What
What are you saying about the playoff run with Houston when they had the Warriors?
Where they would have won if he was healthy.
They wouldn't.
Yeah.
win. Nobody
We
had
don't
the
know
Warriors.
that.
They didn't win because he wasn't healthy. That's all I have for you.
No,
I
but
have nothing else.
I understand. What I'm saying is he was injured. Like
I
he got
don't
injured.
think Houston would have beat Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson because Chris Paul was healthy in a game 7. I don't believe that would have happened. It could have
Okay.
happened.
It's wild
But
right now.
it did.
It's even wild.
Another point that I would just like to say on air that Les mentioned the age thing. You Laker fans, right? LeBron James is going to number 6. He's still
Disgusting.
37.
Let's not do this.
I thank
Let's
you.
not do
I
this.
And
thank
you Lakers
Let's
fans.
not do. Let's
LeBron
He
don't
said
do
you
this.
Laker fan. He left you.
What are you,
He left
Brian?
you guys.
I am saying this on air. Who else is there?
We talking
TK.
We talking about the Suns right now.
I'm so mad. Every tweet I see, LeBron going back to 6. LeBron James in number 6 is a mock. He's 37 years old, big homie. He will be 37 by the time you put on that jersey. Anyway.
Okay.
Brian, what does that
I'm
mean,
thinking-
Brian?
What does
Brian,
that mean? We're
What does
talking
that mean,
about
Brian?
Chris
Are you
Paul
saying
right
that
now.
LeBron James is washed?
No, it means the Lakers are getting a third superstar and we're going to the NBA Finals next season. Anyway, moving right along. I think Phoenix wins the this round. I think Phoenix versus Clippers or Phoenix versus Jazz. I would back Phoenix, eh? I'd back the Jazz. Oh, sorry, Shaz. I'd like to formally apologize for the Utah Jazz.
Say that one more time. Something's coming. Hold up on it. Hold up
Chaz
on
loves
it.
the Jazz because of Jerry Slow. He's just like, because of Jerry Slow.
No, go
it's
stop
his
Jerry
heart.
Slow.
No.
I would like to take this time to apologize for everything I've ever said about the Utah Jazz.
Thank you.
I still believe Steph Curry at 8 would have knocked them out, but that didn't happen, and they are doing what they're doing. And I would like to apologize for ever doubting them because they are getting to the conference finals, and they might actually make the NBA finals. But
Brian, apologize to Steph Curry. Apologize to Steph Curry.
No, come
He
on.
lost
Let
to
me
Ja Morant.
revel. Let me
No,
revel.
Stephen Curry right now.
I apologize to Steph Curry for losing to Ja Morant.
Whoa.
I apologize.
I apologize to
sorry
LeBron. I apologize to LeBron James for losing.
Guys, wait,
For hurting
guys.
them.
Say that.
For hurting
Wait,
them.
Guys, sorry, can we go back to the
That's
topic
my
at
pick.
hand?
That's my
Yeah,
pick.
okay.
That's my pick.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've just got a bit of shade. Hey, look, Luka Doncic 2 years in a row, first round exit, but
my
solid
goodness.
effort, bro.
Dog,
Solid
don't you
Okay.
dare.
Listen.
Don't you dare. Don't you.
We spoke
I'm not
about this
doing
last show though. Like Chris Porzingis needed to show the hell up for Luca to get anyway, right? And
Well,
he just didn't.
Luka
wait to
Doncic
do
sits
it.
down,
He didn't do it
they
enough to
lose
do.
77% of their offensive capability. They only have 23%.
Well, if Luca could play some goddamn defense, if he could just
can't,
move,
bro.
move laterally, like shuffle something,
Buddha,
can he go to
don't you
camp or
dare.
something?
My boy,
God.
if Luka could shoot a free throw, listen to this. Luka Doncic in the playoffs has the same 3-point percentage as Stephen Curry. Luka Doncic in the playoffs has the same 3-point percentage
point.
as Shaq. What?
Not as
What's the
Shaq. He
point?
got a
No,
lethal
literally,
shooter.
Shaq.
No,
Shaq
Shaq.
has a ring. Shaq has a ring. What does Luca have?
No,
Go.
he has a
Oh, so-
percentage.
guys,
Listen to the
Guys,
topic.
how did Shaq
Hey,
win
topic.
rings without free throws?
He's
Yeah,
the
Kobe
most
wins
dominant.
rings.
That's what
Yeah,
happens when
he
you're the
didn't
most
need them.
dominant.
He had Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
And Dwayne Wade.
Okay, let's go into a bit of an
Wait,
Eastern
guys,
Conference mix-up.
before you guys go to the Eastern Conference, I'm not letting you guys disrespect the most dominant center in the history of the NBA. That guy won 3 Finals MVPs. He was the most dominant. Kobe only got like 1 or 2, and Kobe, my guy,
Excuse
respect
me?
Shaq.
Hello.
Respect
Guys,
Shaq.
I'm not having this debate.
Respect
I'm not
Shaq.
having this
Let's move on.
debate.
Let's move on.
Everyone
Everyone
doesn't know.
No, let's
Don't,
move on.
don't.
Let's
Log
move
on
on.
to Twitter
Let's
today.
move on.
I'm gonna give you a graphic.
Let us
You
move
find
on.
Twitter
Let
at
us
9
move
p.m.
on.
I've got a graphic for you. Shaq and Kobe
I'm
scored the
done.
same each point. Same
Yeah,
each,
bro.
they were doing the same, dog.
Shaq had perhaps the best Robin of all time. Whatever. I ain't gonna get into this, but anyway, let's go into the Brooklyn Nets and the Bucks. Cookies people, shout out to the Blackheart.
That's so boring, bro.
Firstly, guys,
It's not even
What?
close.
what do you do with Giannis, bro? Like
Giannis
now,
could have become a warrior. Giannis
I-
chose to stay in Milwaukee and play
He could have
with
been a Laker. He could have been a
players
Warrior.
when he
could be
could have been a
contending for
warrior.
championship. Yeah.
Giannis
Let's go to
could
the
have been
Celtics.
a
Go to the
Look at his
Celtics.
form.
and like,
Elbows
thing
are
is, like,
all out. Elbows
yo,
are all out.
We're shooting
and just
people
in
like
case
this.
anybody watching, when you shoot, you gotta tuck it. You gotta.
Tuck
And
it in,
Giannis,
dog.
dog,
Tuck the elbow in, man.
He's
Oh,
just like,
Come on, man.
Guys, genuine
think-
question. Genuine question.
yeah.
As a professional basketball player, how I don't understand. Do you not work on these things? I don't understand. Are there not coaches?
This is
shooting
not like
coaches?
football, bro,
I
or any
don't-
other sport. Every single player on a basketball court must be able to score something.
Dog.
James Harden said it best. James Harden, he said
I'm saying-
Giannis has no skill. All he does is run and dunk. That's
What I'm
his
saying is
ability.
improve your weaknesses. Is there no
Yeah.
in the off season do it yourself? I don't know
he needs to
how.
go lethal
what you do,
shooter.
right?
He must go to
These
lethal
guys get better
shooter,
in
bro.
offseason.
My thing is he's had the time after every playoff exit to go work on his jump shot, and you obviously have all the support to work on it. And look, Giannis scores points in game 1. I think he had about 34. But let me also not talk shit, right? So let's be honest. The Brooklyn Nets, I mean, right now,
Harlem-
they're kind of
Harlem-
angry.
Yeah, it's a tough
Harlem-
match.
They're
Globe-
kind of angry.
Harlem Globetrotters, bro.
Cookie. You know what?
Bro,
we're
on
trying now.
Monty's point, right? On Monty's point, You know how back in the day when LeBron James loses a playoff series, he'd call up Hakeem Olajuwon, boy, my footwork is best. Kobe would call up Hakeem. KD would call up LeBron James. Giannis, AD, Luka, these guys take the offseason to relax, bro. It's like they're resting. When Luka came back earlier this season, he came back
They're in
out of shape.
Cancun, bro.
In
Lowest.
Cancun.
They be chilling. Why these guys don't work out to get better, bro? It's the weird. You don't even hear about these guys calling
No,
out
wait,
great
stop
stuff.
it though. You have to admit that Giannis has gotten better in off seasons. There
Which
wasn't
Better
one?
at what?
With
before-
what
Got
exactly?
stronger.
You got
Wait,
faster.
before
You got-
Giannis' first MVP, his jump shot got better.
Wait,
No, before Giannis' first MVP, he
Quality
came
of
back
it.
from that offseason
You're
and he
going
got
to be a
better.
small forward, winning the most
That's it.
valuable player award, and you cannot shoot. You aren't a center. You don't have the excuses that Shaq had. You need to be able to shoot the basketball. That's why they're losing, because their most valuable player, two-time MVP, back-to-back, which Kobe hasn't done, KD hasn't done, Steph Curry did. He can't even shoot. He can't even shoot the basketball in his position, and he's been the most valuable player in the NBA twice. And every time he gets let down, it's because of that same thing year in, year out. Yes, he's
What
gotten
I'm
better.
saying to you
He has
is
gotten
it
better
has
now.
gotten better. It's not like Giannis is shooting the same way now that he was in his first season. It has gotten better. Yes, it needs to
No,
get
it
even better, but he's made a step up. You can't
No,
say
he
he
No,
has.
I'm not accepting
look.
that excuse.
No, look,
That's
he's
a bit
improved.
cheap.
He's
Look,
he's
I'd like to
improved.
say this. I'd like to say, if you're able to dunk over 3 people, you should be able to hit a free throw. I'm not asking for a lot. If you're able
math
to,
doesn't make that's
I mean, if you're
Rashad's
able
law.
to do the incredible stuff, do the basics.
No, he's
Hit a
just
free
big,
throw.
man. He's just
No,
big.
no,
That's why
no.
he can dunk.
I'm
But the
feeling
thing
you,
that
Shaz.
Especially
exposing
when you
Giannis,
go with the tennis ball.
No,
DeAndre
no, no,
Ayton
no.
is big. DeAndre Ayton is big. He's hitting free throws.
the thing that separate when you watch the series, when you watch the Nets versus the Bucks, the thing that's separating the series, and I mean we see all the highlights, is KD can cross the ball over, create a shot, fade away, and hit a jump shot, right?
Hey,
And if you play the game of basketball, the amount of effort it takes to shoot jumpers, create your own shot.
Not just KD. There's Kyrie. There's Blake Griffin
Oh my
now.
gosh.
Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Blake Griffin acting like he's at
Folks,
Oklahoma.
folks,
No,
Blake,
this is
Blake-
Lob City Blake right now.
Blake owes,
You have Lob
owes
City
Detroit
Blake right
money.
now.
He owes Detroit money.
So much. I can't believe it, guys. You know,
Rack.
that guy is literally like dunking over Giannis. I'm like, guys, what? Like, if I'm like
Blake is
Pistons.
rolling back, and it's fantastic. But you know what? At the end of the day, it goes back to this, right? Giannis is a great basketball player. Yes, he has flaws, but he's a good basketball player.
great
He chose to
basketball
stay.
player.
Wait,
Great
he's
basketball
chose to stay in a bad situation because of
No.
loyalty. Some very
No.
misplaced loyalty.
Umi,
Because we've
Giannis
seen
is
that.
a good Robert. He's a good backup. He's a good.
Oh no.
Malak likes to call him
never.
a decoy. He's not a superstar. He's not a franchise leader. He's not the guy you
Can't
look
say that,
to
eh?
get you over the hump.
Oh no,
I
no.
don't know if I agree with that in the sense that I think Giannis could be a 1B as opposed to a number 2, right? You could have a
1B is
1A,
not A.
1B.
B
Okay,
comes
but he's
after
still a 1B. It's not like he's not a really like good player. But at the bottom line is Giannis chose to stay in a bad situation. And someone said in the tweets earlier, like, he's the next Damian Lillard. He really is.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Dame chose to stay in a bad situation.
Dame out,
Giannis
Dame
chose
out,
to stay in a bad
Dame
situation.
out. Dame's out.
Guys,
Dame's
he
gone.
is. Those
Dame's
two are
gone.
the
Bro,
same.
Dame is staying,
Plus,
bro.
Dame
Dame
is
is
gone.
loyal.
Nah,
I
Dame's
don't.
out.
He's not. He's staying. He's staying.
Dame
I'm
is
telling
the
you,
tweet that
the only team Dame
Kid
would go
is
to
the coach
is the
I want.
Warriors
I want.
hometown team.
Yeah. Or the Lakers.
And he's not
Or
getting
Boston.
there, right? He's not going anywhere
Boston.
else.
Boston can make a move. Dame said, listen, I want Jason Kidd. That's the coach I want. Jason Kidd said, yeah, I'd like to withdraw my name from the hat. It's just not going well. It's just there's nothing they're doing to get him to stay. I think that he has to leave, bro. He'll never do it in Portland because the best asset they have is probably CJ McCollum. And what's he
CJ.
actually worth? You're not going to get a superstar in return for that. You're not going to get a guy that's going to push you over to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Damon Lillard's got to go.
Giannis-
They got to do something.
He's not going anywhere though. He's decided he's staying. And I'm telling you, the only team that could pull Dame would be the Golden State Warriors because hometown
Nah,
boy
they-
wants to play in his hometown team. That's
Wait,
the only
you
way.
saying- Boomy, are you
Trey
saying it's
Damon
official? He decided he's staying?
Yeah, yes.
Boomy got him on the call. Boomy got him on the call.
No, bruh, he said it though. He said
Okay.
he wants to spend his whole career in Portland.
But wait,
Yeah, he did.
I got a question.
Yeah, okay.
I got a question. If
Shut
when
up.
Giannis
I ain't got
when
time
Ya-
for it.
when Giannis blows it and gets swept again, what we gonna say now? Because this keeps on happening to the Giannis every single time we get to the playoffs because he's about to get swept.
We're gonna say
Well-
Giannis comes to Golden State.
What we're gonna
You know what I would do,
Shaz, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put him in the same box as Carmelo Anthony. We're gonna put him in the same box
T-Mac.
as James Harden. We're gonna put him in the same box as
Say
T-Mac.
those dudes'
We're
names
gonna put him.
again.
Well,
those
we're gonna
dudes-
put him in the same box as.
Here's what I would do if I am my boy Rob Pelinka. If I'm Rob Pelinka,
Yo,
we don't
I
need,
always
we don't
I
need
don't
Giannis.
something.
We don't need Giannis.
I
Y'all
will
always
give
need
you
something.
Anthony Davis for Chris Middleton and Giannis. Bring both of the freaks. I would do that.
No,
I
bro.
would do that in a heartbeat.
Then
Listen,
all the Laker
Myers
LeBron
will.
fans are gonna get mad
Myers
because
needs to
Giannis
get on
isn't
the
hitting
phone
the
and be
game-winning
like, yo.
shot because LeBron passed it away. I can't
Give
do
me
that.
Giannis.
Can we? Okay, so tell me, Giannis to the
Yo, Sid.
VAR. I'm
Hey,
dead. I'm dead.
Jeez.
Better than Jacob. Okay, so guys, we've also got the 76ers and the Hawks matchup. Personally, for me, the Hawks right now, big surprise in the East. Just a
You
big
don't want to
surprise
apologize
in
to
the
me?
East,
You
right?
don't want to apologize to your boy?
Brian,
No,
I'm
listen,
actually
they're not
apologizing.
winning,
This would be the
Brian.
second apology.
They're not
But-
winning the series.
Yeah.
For sure, they're not winning the series.
Game
But
2.
they did well in game 1.
Let's
Yeah.
like them for the series, but I think it's too much. I think the size factor is a big deal for them. I don't think they can match up with those
So
big
Brian,
guys.
the big adjustment was Ben Simmons shifted to on Trey, and Trey's like a 6'1" point guard. He's
Yeah.
generally already
Quite
size wise. But I'll be honest though, if Trey finds a way to work that out,
What was Trey's
actually-
numbers in that game? Did Trey not
In
put up?
game
Because
2.
what I know about Trey Young, even when he's got a bigger ball, he can get some points. Did he
in
play
game
well that game?
2, Trey had
No,
in
I'll
game
give it a
2.
look. Go ahead.
Nah, Brian, I want to tell you right now. I'll tell you right now. Trey
Alright,
Young
bro.
had
Alright, bro.
21. He had 21 points on 37% and from the field, 14% from 3. So
Alright,
I
Ben,
think the switch with the bigger
let's give it to
Benson. But Ben Simmons, check his numbers. It was bears. When he has to defend, he can't score. It's
When he
weird.
doesn't have to defend, he can't score. He's not a scorer. He ain't got scoring. Giannis and Ben, they don't know shot.
But in that series, a healthy Embiid, I think, gets them to the Eastern
Dominant.
Conference Finals. Yeah,
Yeah,
dominant.
he should.
But
He should.
healthy Embiid doesn't get to the NBA Finals.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They're not getting
Look.
past the Nets. No one's getting
Look.
past the
They're
Nets.
Yeah.
We know
getting
that.
No, Brooklyn got it in
That's
last
why
night.
Koki got in there. I thought she was actually hitting us with back end analysis. Can't she's saying no, but there's
No,
like-
she's saying
No.
no one's getting past
just
the
to
Nets.
clarify further.
She's just like, yo, don't sweat it. She's like, don't sweat what's going on. Joel
How are you guys doing this? by the way?
Embiid, how
is this
dominant is he?
happening?
Like 40 points.
Wait, guys, Monty.
No,
just
man, it's
asked
called production,
how-
doc.
Yeah, we got producers.
Monty, you got producers, our production team out in Cape Town. They be working online, they're working from home.
Yeah.
So they be setting
They
us
work.
up. We professionals now, okay? We
Yo, shout
professionals.
Yeah,
out,
you
shout
know,
out. I'm enjoying the
Yeah,
production.
Yo, Monty, if you want to throw that out at some of your connections, Joaquim. And,
Yeah, tell your boy
you know,
JQ.
Tell it, Joe.
you
Tell
know.
him, Joe. I call him
Yeah,
JQ.
JQ,
You
no.
want to tell him
Yeah,
that
let us up, let us know.
we
We
got
a production
skills.
on the way.
Are you
and we
trying to
got
get an
banter.
interview or what?
Monty, we're not joking.
Monty, don't
Um,
play with us, boy. Don't play with us like that,
Jessica, we're live. But the final matchup for the second round, we've got the LA Clippers and the Utah Jazz. Yo, I won't lie. I don't know. I also don't know with Paul Pierce. I'm not Paul Pierce. Sorry, Paul George. I don't know anymore for him. But
Playoff P
Kawhi-
back.
Kawhi
Playoff
didn't
P
play well
back.
either.
Pandemic P in the last game? What was that?
I love it.
It was a rollback to a season ago. He just
Yeah, it
came
was-
out like he was playing in the bubble again. It was ridiculous.
That team only knows how to prepare for the Lakers. Their game plan was beat LA. Now they're shocked that LA got beat, and now they have to scramble for a new game plan. It's
Koki,
Bears
what
day
were
by
you
the-
saying?
No, I was saying I don't know why we always get surprised at Paul George, but he's on brand. What's so surprising?
Have you guys seen
What
Paul
is-
George in the Eastern Conference? Have you guys seen him?
Yo,
He's a superstar.
Brian,
He's meant to be
no.
a superstar.
Brian, do you remember Paul George at the Pacers? It was a
He didn't
real
beat LeBron
thing.
James.
He was
It
amazing.
was a real thing. So
That
Koki,
man
I
was
I'll
was
be
scared of
honest.
him. at
I'll
the
be
Pacers.
honest. My straight chat is this. I just imagine as a NBA player, there's a certain standard, and then as an NBA like all-star, bona fide, this, like people that they call like an elite basketball player. I imagine that every season, I kind of imagine you did something and you could potentially come back and actually do it. That's why I'm shocked every season. I don't get it. Paul George, I really don't get it.
I'll tell you what, Paul George's struggles, they get magnified more than any other second superstar in the NBA. It feels like Paul George,
besides Anthony Davis. Besides
No,
Anthony
at least Anthony Davis got a chip. Anthony Davis got a chip.
Talk about AD for everybody. But
Anthony
with
Davis
Paul
got a
George,
chip.
Kristaps Porzingis just sucked for a couple of weeks. Yeah, he got some heat, but not like Paul George one game back to where he was last season. Chris Middleton, if he sucks, whatever. James Harden, if he has a bad game, which actually doesn't happen. Paul George, if he has a bad game, we are coming for you.
Because it's because of literally what we just said. The old Paul George was amazing. Everyone was like, he's the next guy. You know, some people were calling him a poor man's LeBron James, but because
he's a poor man, poor Paul George. He's a poor man, poor man.
We had such high hopes for him. I was genuinely scared of him. I was like, yo, this guy is next. He's coming up. Took the Heat to Game 7. And then, obviously, the injury didn't help. But, like, that's why.
He was legit, that man was legit, bro. That man was bored.
Koki is so bored that we are even giving him anything. Like, she's saying just remove him. She's saying put the man, he's dead.
Before he left for the Clippers, he was considered like top 10 in that MVP run in that last season. So that's why
in OKC.
To see that decline. But I also think it's just the pressure of the playoffs because they have told him that he has to get a chip with this team because this team was built insulting the Lakers. Remember that New Balance advert? We all saw it with the crown on the New Balance. Ain't nobody buying no damn New Balances.
Yuck, bro.
Right.
I think Balance.
Okay, just blow it up. Like,
I won't lie. There's pieces there.
Next season's gonna get harder in the West. Just blow it up. Like, start again.
We'll take Kawhi.
The Utah. Oh wow, interesting. I'm so glad we got that on the show. Can we make sure we get that on loop? We'll take. I know that's right.
Look at that. Yeah, we'll take that.
Kawhi's struggling.
Look at Luka in the bottom right. Should have played help defense.
Not even shocked he didn't play defense.
And the Utah Jazz, what's your guys' feelings on that? I personally think it's been a great showing to kick off. I don't ever necessarily have anything bad to say about the Utah Jazz. I think they have the ability to show. Huh?
But it's the Utah Jazz.
But it's the Utah Jazz. That's kind of the thing, right? I mean, it would be beautiful if they won a champ. If they won a championship, it'd probably be. I don't think anyone could be angry. Why?
It's bad for basketball. It is bad for basketball.
It's like the year Leicester won. It's like the year Leicester won. Like nobody cares.
It doesn't make sense. They didn't win. Everybody else lost. That's what's going to happen if Utah wins this thing. No, they didn't win it. Everybody else lost to Utah.
Brian, you see all this energy that you bring.
Also, by the way, you guys are mad at Pandemic P, right? You guys saw what Kawhi also went 9 for 19. Paul George scored 20 and 10. Kawhi said 23 and 7. Why are you guys mad at Pandemic Paul and not Kawhi?
Kawhi at least got into the 20s.
At least,
it's 20 and 23. It's 20 and 23. They both gone to the 20s. Why are you guys mad at the one guy?
Kawhi's got chips.
Brian. I've got the answer. Brian.
Kawhi's got chips.
It's the eye test,
He'll be fine whether they win or not.
Brian, it's the eye test.
What? Monty? Les, I am trying so hard to ignore you. Yo, can the production team just mute Leslie? His connection is bad. Can we get him off the screen?
You gotta.
I don't get it. I don't get the hate, but yeah, whatever. I think tonight or whenever the Utah Jazz play, I think they want to 4 Utah and 5.
The team muted lineup. Wow, that's
Donovan Mitchell, who went for like 50. I think he had 3 50-point games in last year's semifinals. He scored 45 and outscored those two gents combined at a higher clip.
Joe, man.
He can definitely go again for another one. He can definitely go for another
Jordan Clarkson, guys. Jordan Clarkson off the bench. It's just that team. That team is well built, man. I mean, they had the runner-ups of the 6th Man of the Year. I mean, that team is deep. So
runner-up, didn't he win it? Or he won it?
He won it.
No, but Jordan Clarkson. It was Jordan Clarkson. It was is it Ings? What
Oh
is his
yeah,
name?
what's that guy's name? The
The one who,
white dude.
yeah, the white dude. He was runner up.
On the same team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same team.
Joey Ingles.
Yeah,
Joe
he was runner up.
Ingles. Joe Ingles.
He was runner up. He was runner up in the
Hey,
six
hey,
man.
hey, Utah for real. Utah for real. Utah
Yo,
got
Utah's deep.
Utah for real. Yeah, they're for real. They've
How
got
come everyone
on paper,
suddenly knows how
they
to
got
play?
they got
How come
defense,
people
they
know how to
got
play suddenly when they leave
multiple
LeBron?
scorers. They,
Oh my
Utah
gosh. How
and
come-
Ingles went for what did the guy say about LeBron? I didn't catch that, Monty. What's that?
Just keep it moving, Brian. Don't let them trigger you. They're trying to trigger you.
I need to listen, Monty. At the end of every show, we get a poll to determine if a guest's gonna come back. So you better tread lightly, big homie. We might not see you again
No,
next year.
I'm a LeBron fan, so I'm just annoyed at that fact. But it's okay. Let's move on.
No, I feel you. I'm still not convinced of other playoffs, but that's another story for another day. We'll talk about that one.
Les, last link. We're waiting for you.
Thank you for the LeBron.
Thank you, Che.
The most unlucky player in the NBA. But let's roll over to the WNBA. Let's just chop a little bit about that. There's been all this hype about the game winners in the WNBA. Oaks hitting like Oaks, I get it, but hitting the Euro step game winners. But what's everybody's feelings on the WNBA? Y'all know I'm a Phoenix Mercury fan. Some people, Brian says it's loaded because he says I have a crush on Skylar Diggins, but
but in Leslie's defense, you all ever seen Sky Dig? Have you just take some time to just scroll the Instagram a little bit?
fair
Let's
enough.
talk about basketball.
17 points a game. I mean, I just think that she's really but the goat, she's injured though. She's injured. But she's injured, and I think I love seeing Skylar Diggins running a team 17 points a game at the one. I've always been a big fan though of obviously point guards, so of course watching Skylar Diggins is big. But what are your feelings on the WNBA, Shaz? Shaz, who are you watching in the WNBA?
First of all, this week. No, hold on, man. First of all, this week was just filled with like buzzer beaters out of nowhere. It was crazy. But like the NBA, injury riddled season of the mega superstars. I mean, Alina Deladonna hasn't started for the Mystics yet. Candace Parker hopefully returns today and has a good run.
Is she out as well?
Yeah, she was out. Ankle sprain. Ankle sprain. So those are big. Yeah, so it's
ankle sprain.
Yeah, it was ankle sprain. Tarasi out as well, and she's 6 points away from 9,000 career points. So so it's like injury riddle season. But as I called it, as per usual, my analysis is always great. Seattle Storm 6-1. Sue Bird is killing it, and Brianna Stewart killing it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about them, and they're also transitioning out of a new coach, so which is wild, and they're killing it. Sabrina 5-3 in New York, so it's exciting times. In
New York youngsters are incredible, man. Just 100%. Sabrina, but also the rooks, right? New York has some great rookies this season. It is amazing.
Sabrina, bro. yeah. No way, bro. What?
But going back to injuries, my most disappointing injuries, of course, I'm an Angel McCaffrey girl. She's absolutely incredible. And so as good as Las Vegas is, they're going to miss her this season. There's no ways that they don't miss Angel.
But they're not doing
How far in the season are we in the WNBA, right? I actually haven't been... Listen, since the Lakers fell out, I've just turned my eyes off all basketball, to be honest. That's why I've been so quiet. I'm in a little bit of mourning. I need a couple more weeks. But how far are they in the... Who do you guys have for MVP in the WNBA?
They're 11 games in.
It's Brianna Stewart. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Back to back. It's Brianna Stewart. Don't worry about all that.
Sorry, have you seen my girl Liz Cambage lately?
Yes, I've seen her.
Have you seen my girl Liz Cambage?
Yes, I have.
Come on now.
But points and rebounds.
Listen,
guys. That's why she's leading that stat of MVP.
You know how she loves to joke about being a point guard? Like, Liz's game is so elevated this season. She's always had a really great game, but the way she's playing right now on both ends of the floor is just incredible.
I agree
So
with you, Mpumi.
I want to throw out a little bit of a
So,
political element to the WNBA. There's been, a bit of the conversations about the commercial elevation of certain WNBA stars. Like, so
I was
when
going
we
there as
talk
well.
and like when we talk and we engage with the WNBA, and I mean, whether our knowledge is limited or not, we know a lot of the black players, right? But I won't lie, if you follow a lot of the generic WNBA kind of accounts or whatever, it does seem like there's an over elevation of some of the white players. That's my clear thing that I see.
Yeah, but
Like,
you also said some people got that thing because of that thing as well. So we gotta interview you privately to see what your feeling is about the topic at hand.
No,
Yeah,
but it's also because, I mean, and that's the worst thing, right? Is the WNBA is seen as the most diverse league. I mean, if you look at social justice issues, if you look at LGBTIQ community
They're the most
issues,
involved.
like, the WNBA has been on the forefront of that. But
Yeah.
there's this underlying tone where there is an elevation of the white players, and it's the same the NBA does with American players versus foreign players, right? They're always going to put a foreign player over a local player.
I mean, it's crazy, Les, just on what you're talking about. Candace Parker won Defensive Player of the Year last year. She couldn't make it into the all-defensive team. I was like, what are we talking about?
A la LeBron James.
Yeah.
So Mpumi and Les, rather, right? Let me just ask you guys on that topic. Do you guys feel like other white players actually, because from when I look at it, right, it's Sue Bird, it's Diana Taurasi, it's do you feel like there's more white players that are at a higher level, or more of them playing well versus the African American players? Or do you feel like, because generally basketball is more, African American, it's more of us doing better. Do you feel like it's
right, you
actually
say that across the board in the world, black people are better?
Yeah.
Angel Wilson. So why are they not covering?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. She doesn't get her dab.
Wow. Lisa Leslie, Candace Parker, it's all black.
And you know
what they love
Oh,
doing with AJ Wilson? They love showing her so like they'll like to drop. Oh, that's my girl Cambridge.
My girl
So
Liz.
they love showing them, like, so those pre-games when they're dressed, they'll put gang of the black players there. But now we're talking accolades, we're talking about like stats and numbers, and then you don't dap. And my chop is like what Mpumi says about the WNBA being a diverse league and social justice. Eventually, also, every league also deserves the opportunity to just be like, yo, we're sports people here. Like, we don't need, like, we can't, we're not always trying to be, we finna fight in our own league for exposure. I don't know about that. Like, I think there's an awkward energy in that regard. Like, the more you engage with the WNBA, and obviously it's picked up a hell of a lot from last year, I'm just seeing this weird trend, and I think that narrative has now become quite public. Like, people definitely feel like there's an elevation of a particular cohort of players, and that's not natural in a league that's definitely dominated.
But you know what the tricky thing is, though, Les, right? Is that the greatest player of all time in the WNBA is white, right? So that's tricky, right?
Yeah.
Because DT is the GOAT of the league. But when you talk about young and upcoming players,
Can
there's
I say this?
energy towards, I have never understood the energy towards Brianna Stewart. I'm a huge UConn fan. I am like a diehard UConn women's basketball fan. But I've never understood the absolute elevation of Brianna Stewart. And it started with Brianna getting picked over Candace for a national team. That made no sense. And
that was crazy. That was crazy.
Got in like this elevated status almost to justify like why Brianna was better than Candace when she was, and she wasn't. She wasn't better than Candace at that point. There was no reason to pick her over Candace, but the league almost, and the whole narrative in sports writing almost elevates her to that level, to be like, oh, look, it was a mistake. And it was.
Yeah. And so sorry, Shaz, just my final notes on this, right? Yeah. Don't ever trip. We're not just talking about what it means to be highly publicized. All of that links into sponsorship, sneaker deals. If you get the most hits, your name's mentioned the most, when people are checking your numbers, it actually means something. Yeah. Like, that hype it's not to be played with what the impact is of this.
Currency,
and that's
that hype is a real currency.
It's actual currency. So I think that's why I really wanted to mention it. And I mentioned the sneaker deal thing because I think that's. I remember there was some issues around Skylar Diggins. The people weren't allowed to check out her jersey. There were some issues in and around that. Like there is a lot around, how you're marketed and whatever the case may be. People buying your jerseys, and then you lose those opportunities. So yeah, I mean, Shaz, you were gonna say.
I was gonna say, like, I still don't know why DT considered the greatest female basketball player of all time.
What?
Let me just say why.
Oh,
I think
He
Cheryl
has a
Miller.
jersey.
Cheryl Miller should still be considered the greatest female player to ever touch a basketball ever. That's Reggie Miller's sister. If you guys want to go do your research, go do your research.
Wait,
She was the Michael Jordan.
But
She was the
didn't
Michael
play,
Jordan of film. That
did
was
she play
because
at the
the
high
league.
level?
That's because the league wasn't there yet. But she is still
Come on, my
considered
friend.
one of the
How
greatest
should be the
female.
greatest WNBA
Yo.
player of all time?
I said
You
greatest
should
female boss. I said greatest female basketball player of all time. Listen, Brian, don't jump in. Use your ears.
That's
The
like saying,
decoration.
who's that dude? That dude that went to Derrick Rose High School. He also, his career
Len
got cut
Bias.
short.
You talking about
Yeah,
Len
why
Bias?
he ain't the greatest? He could have been great. Let's make him the GOAT. Come on.
Oh my god!
Come on,
I'm
he
not
played.
having this.
Anyway,
Please
that
don't
was just my
come
quick.
on.
On
That
this
was just
topic, I just
that
want
was
to
my
find out
point.
Once he had something as well, right?
Yeah,
on this
Monty.
topic. So is it boiling down to just straight up racism then?
I mean, last year, who got the Social Justice Award? I think it was Breonna Stewart, even, or something like that. And she
Once
even
he
was.
finished a point with it too.
I cannot believe. Really?
It was. I think so. Monty, my
It was
opinion is.
it was a white player that got the Social Justice Award last year in
good,
WNBA. And
I wouldn't be surprised.
And it was crazy, right? Because even the player was like, in a year where Black Lives Matter has been the thing, where it was Angel McCaffrey who came up with putting the names on the back of the jerseys and all that stuff. It was a white player that got
Right.
given that Social Justice Award. And
So-
it wasn't taking anything away from that player, but it was like, this doesn't make sense.
What do you
I
mean? It's such traffic. How you would
It's
give it to her?
definitely-
This is
It's
wrong.
definitely it's some of that systemic, creepy, erosive type of element of discrimination. But yeah, at the end of the day, when you unwrap it and you dig to the bottom, the root cause I think it is based on racial discrimination, so racism, and we ain't finna sugarcoat that. But exciting times in the basketball world across the world. Basketball Africa League, the WNBA, the NBA. We don't
NBA
have
ain't
like
even that excited, bro. I don't think the NBA is that excited, personally. But whatever.
Brian, you can't be this.
Yeah,
Brian,
I'm
come
watching
on.
golf. I'm watching golf.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been watching some Formula One and
I'm no
stuff. bro.
longer. I actually caught up on some sleep. Yo, Brian, how's that sleep? Because
Yeah.
Sleep.
People
Oh,
like
guys.
a baby,
Sleep.
bro.
We
Oh,
finna end the show with some Lakers tears. Thank you so
I
much
gotta
for
go.
joining
I gotta
us.
go. I gotta fall
Lakers
off the show.
in 0. Lakers in 0. We're so sorry it all happened, guys. We understand, just
Do
he'll
have an
never
Steph
get
Curry
sick
didn't
though.
play in.
He'll
Shaz left.
never
Shaz left away.
get
PC
6.
Shaz dipped.
He'll never get 6. He will never be the. No, I'm kidding. But guys, Hadi man, your dude's old though. It's a wrap though. You know what? You probably regret that 2011 and
Dog,
2000.
end the show. Yo, end the show, dog.
My bad. Anyway,
Go on,
guys, thanks for joining us today. Please follow us. Please comment. Please, we don't need Shaz back in the show. We ending this. Please follow
Yeah,
us.
you went away
Please
when you started talking
comment.
about the Lakers.
Auntie, thank you so much for joining us, bro. We really appreciate
Appreciate
the
it,
BAL
Monty.
insights.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having
For
me.
me, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
Everybody
Leslie,
have a
thank
good
you.
evening.
Leslie, thank
No.
you for wasting our times with that
Kogi,
outro. We
you are the
appreciate you.
only person in the playoffs, by the way. Kogi, you're the only playoff contender left.
He's the only person in the playoffs.
That was to you,
And
bro.
I'm so quiet, very humble. Just minding
Humble
my
what?
Okay, can I ask a question?
You guys-
Like, are you
No,
are you
end the
excited
show.
to sweep?
I ended
Wait,
the
are you
show.
yeah, it's cool. Are you excited that you're gonna sweep everyone? Like, it's quite boring. Like, nobody's even gonna take a game off you. Like, come on, come
Guys,
on.
I'm
So Brooklyn
excited to
wins.
see myself as a NBA champion.
Listen,
Shaz,
Kyrie's trying to
she feels
unite
the way
the
you
world.
felt in the bubble
This
last
is the World
season.
Peace Championship run. Okay?
Yeah, y'all solve world hunger. If you guys lose, the world hunger and world peace, it's a wrap.
Hey,
You guys couldn't
hey.
solve world peace.
Look at
Kyrie.
my boy. Look at
Kyrie
my
about
boy.
to Kyrie about to get his second ring.
I must say, Kevin Durant a punk ass bitch for this trade. He's a punk ass. I gotta call it what it is.
We ended the show.
Guys, Brooklyn is
Thank you
boring.
for
Let's be
joining us.
honest.
Yo,
guys.
Brooklyn is some
boring.
punk ass.
Guys,
Like,
This
This
subscribe,
is boring.
follow, like,
is boring.
subscribe,
All right, fam.
follow,
Let's call it a day. Cheers, fam.
like,
Good show. See you
subscribe,
soon.
follow, comment.
All right.
Thank you
Yeah.
for